Hey guys, welcome to Nine Lives Therapy. My name is Chrissy Smith, and we teach you how to be fit and well for life. And today I have Sabrina Johnson with us, and she has been in the health and fitness industry and has a lot of experience. So we are going to chit chat with her today, and she's going to tell us about coaching and also about her experience at teaching at GTCC. How are you doing this morning, Miss Johnson?
I woke up feeling really good, excited about this 80-degree weather in
Nice.
February. So we'll see.
Awesome. So tell us how you got interested in health and fitness. Did you play any sports or anything like that when you were in school?
Well, growing up, I was always tagging behind my brother. And so he played soccer. So that was actually my first sport that I ever got into. And he hated it because there were no girls soccer teams. So I was the only girl on his team. So that got me into sports. And then after that, from middle school on, I was doing just about everything. So track and field, basketball, volleyball, so all of that.
Awesome. So what was your favorite sport in high school?
My favorite sport in high school was actually track and field because I was very good at track and field. I was on the basketball team mainly because I was tall and could jump. That's about it. And then I actually have my life turned around. I really did not start volleyball until my junior year in high school, surprisingly.
Okay. So did you play that when you went to college? Did you play volleyball or do track in college?
Yes, when I went to Appalachian State University, I played a dual sport athlete, played volleyball and ran track while I was there.
Okay. What was your degree in when you went to school there?
Nutrition.
All right. Did you was that kind of like a catalyst to say, okay, well, I think I want to go into teaching, or tell us a little bit about your journey, I guess, into college. What caused you to maybe go into nutrition? Did you do anything with that? What was your first job? I know that's kind of like three questions in one, but it was kind of like together.
Okay. Well, I actually started off in healthcare management as I knew I wanted to do something in the health industry, and I was always athletic and wanted to learn more about my diet and how to eat right. And so nutrition sparked my interest, and so I changed my major to nutrition. And from there, I planned on being a dietitian. Actually, no intentions of even being a teacher at that time in my life, but I ended up getting my degree, and my first job was actually as a diet technician. I'm working
Okay.
at a hospital in Charlotte. And so, and then from there, I worked as a nutritionist at a health department. And right after that time, life happened. I got engaged, moved away, and, my career sort of changed from there. And actually, even before teaching, I worked as a massage therapist and
Okay.
had my own business when we moved back to North Carolina.
So were you were a nutritionist, and then I guess you had to go get some type of licensure as a massage therapist. Did you do that while you were working as a nutritionist, or was this something afterwards?
This was after working as a nutritionist when I moved, got married and moved to Tennessee. Kind of redirected things. I wanted to start a family, so I took a little break. And then at that point, I'm thinking I still want to help people. I still want to be in something in health and nutrition. So I figured, okay, I like massage therapy. That's body healing. So
Mm-hmm.
I actually went to school in Tennessee for massage therapy. And then when we moved back to North Carolina, I continued with that massage therapy and opened up my own gym. So there I had full circle everything that I enjoyed doing, helping people, doing massage therapy and training on the side. I don't think I mentioned that. I also worked as a personal trainer and a fitness instructor. And that is actually how I came into teaching because there
Okay.
was a part-time position, or they needed a substitute teacher at GTCC. And one of my friends like, you'd be great. I'm like, I don't know, teaching, And so I said, I'll try it. And so I came out and met Debbie Allison, the director at that time, and taught my first class, enjoyed it, loved it, fell in love with teaching, ended up, selling my business and teaching full time at GTCC.
Okay. So did you have the credentials that you needed to have in order to go straight into teaching, or did you have to go back to school?
So I had my undergrad, and that was okay for teaching part-time at GTCC, and which was okay. But I was told that there's an opportunity for you to teach full-time, but you would have to get your master's degree. And I was thinking, I've got 2 little kids. Do I want to go back to school and get my master's degree? And it was always something in the back of my head saying, you need to go ahead and do it. And so this was like the big push that I needed. And so, yes, I ended up going to High Point University, getting my master's degree in sports science, which gave me the credentials to be able to teach at Guilford Tech Community College.
Okay. How was that as a struggle, having 2 small kids at home and working? Because you were operating your business at that time, right?
I was.
You were working part-time at Guilford Tech.
I was.
You were going to school. Girl, how did you do it? You were
Yes. Let me just tell you, it was a challenge, and everything was so new, and I loved every part of everything that I was doing, so it was fun. Fortunately, I had a great support system, and my husband was amazing. But I went to school in the evening, so I worked all day. In the break, I would about 12 to 2. That was a good thing about it. Having your own business, I was able to make my own schedule. So there wasn't a time that I wasn't able to be available for my kids. And so I was able to pick them up from school, daycare, spend some time with them. Husband comes home. Okay, see you. Switch off hands, and I went to school, and that's how I did it, And that was the drive, just having them and just wanting to be a good role model for my kids.
Oh, that's awesome. So how long have you been at GTCC now in the full-time position?
Full-time position, I've been with GTCC for 16 years now, and full-time for 15.
Okay. So you teach what classes there?
So at GTCC right now, I'm teaching health and wellness. I'm teaching circuit training, fitness and wellness, CPR and first aid. And I can actually teach anything else if you ask me to, but I think we'll stop right there.
So tell us a little bit about your volleyball career at Guilford Tech, because you are the volleyball coach, correct?
I am. And the opportunity that I was able to get to teach at GTCC was contingent upon me having a subsidized part-time job, which was the coaching. So together, that was the end that I had to be able to teach full-time, because at that time, GTCC wasn't hiring full-time. So that was the only way that I was going to be able to get in full-time. And so the opportunity came. They had athletics probably about 30 years prior, and so they decided to have it again. And the 2 sports they were going to have was basketball and volleyball. And so the athletic director who they hired asked me if I'll be interested. And I was like, well, why not?
Had you ever coached before?
I had coached Little League, like Junior Olympic volleyball. So maybe middle school and high school kids. And I've also coached track and field, AAU, which is the same, but never anything at the high school or collegiate level. This was my first opportunity. So anything can happen.
What is your favorite thing about coaching, and what is probably your least favorite about coaching? And then you can also respond after that question and let me know what you like and dislike about teaching.
Okay, so
your favorite, not dislike, but your favorite and least favorite.
Right. So I will tell you, I absolutely love coaching. I love the opportunity to be put in front of young ladies and being able to kind of just watch them grow up, really. So the most rewarding part of coaching is just seeing them develop and seeing them reach their goals. And then lately, the most rewarding part has been just having them come back and visit and just invite me to weddings and send me pictures of their kids' births, and then that reminds me, I've been coaching for a long time. So I'm like, wow, I've been in this business for a minute. So, But yeah, that's my most rewarding. Probably the most challenging part about coaching is just having to get to know different personalities and having to use those personalities for the betterment of the team, because there's always going to be there times when people don't get along and times where, people are upset. And so you have to be like the little mediator. That's the most challenging, but I wouldn't say it's my least favorite, because that's part of growth and the opportunity I had to help them to grow. But I will tell you, as I'm getting older, I'm not liking traveling as much. So that's probably at this point my least favorite thing is all the traveling that I have to do.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit about your teaching job. Like, what's your most rewarding, and what's something that I guess would present itself as a challenge to you?
Well, the most rewarding it's kind of just like volleyball. I get my student athletes in there, and with my students, I still get some that'll come back, send me messages, and tell me how they're doing. But seeing them progress and seeing them actually have a different outlook about health and fitness is most rewarding, because you have a lot of people that come in with, I don't want to work out, or I don't want to do this, or I only need to lose my belly fat, or I only need to, do this. And so it's rewarding for me to be able to teach them about their entire body, letting them know that it all connects in some way, and that it's just not this one piece that they're interested in. So now they have more of an interest in other areas of their health and fitness, and not just the physical part.
Mm-hmm. And
probably
your least favorite or the most challenging?
Yeah, so probably the least favorite, maybe not least favorite, but the most challenging is having people from different cultures and backgrounds, and being able to having to allow them the opportunity to be able to grow in those areas and have, I wouldn't say, I might be getting this a little mixed up, because I was thinking it's not my least favorite thing or most challenging, but having the students themselves to have confidence in themselves. And a lot of times it's what I was trying to bring in the culture part, because a lot of times if they don't have support at home, then they won't have it when they come in. And so, and a lot of times you don't know about their background. You don't know about their family history. And, there's not a lot of opportunities to be able to ask that unless you are in a health class. So more of the physical fitness classes, you don't get that relationship as much. And so that's the most challenging, because you want to get to know them. You want to know how you can help them to be better.
Yeah. Now, we talk about Title IX in this class in regards to, what legality things, that the school could be responsible for not being equitable to the different genders that they have at the school, and also the different sports. Can you tell us some experience that you had as a college athlete? And I know that was probably that you were a little bit removed from being responsible for Title IX because you weren't a coach, but try to compare it to your experience in college when you were at State, and compare it to now when you are a teacher in regards to Title IX. What was your experience?
Well, my experience at App State, they didn't talk a lot about Title IX. However, there was always a session that you had to go through just to make sure that you are aware of it. And I didn't find at Appalachian State, because they were trying to grow their program, there was not a lot of issues that I knew about personally. I do know that for some sports, however, they might not have had as much money, but the way they get around that is because it's the number of athletes. So for instance, if football is bringing in the money and they have 100 athletes, well, they're going to be a lot more things. And for volleyball, which holds only about 14 athletes, and yes, we may charge to get into the door, but with 14 athletes, the income that the school is going to make is minimal to that. And so the workout facility is not the same, or was not the same. Although we had what we needed, it wasn't state of the art. So those are the things that they were trying to bridge the gap. And actually, you know, just even a few years ago, people were still complaining about it, even with the Olympics. You know, the people that were in the Olympics, the places where they had to work out prior were minimal compared to some of the other sports. Community college is a little bit different here than the four-year schools. And it also depends on if your school or institution has a gym or facility. So like for us here, Title IX goes a little bit past just equity in sports, like the number. GTCC always stays right in line with Title IX, equal sports for men, equal sports for females. And so that has not changed. However, you know, the opportunity to be able to work in a facility, we're fortunate that we have the Y. Now, if we had our own gym, that might be a little troublesome, because now we have to work out who gets the right amount of time to be in this gym. We have to share this with, is physical education going to take up athletics time, or is athletics going to move into physical education? So there's a lot of those aspects of Title IX. And not only with equity in sports, but we also have to talk about Title IX as in gender differences and being equitable as far as how you're treated. And, you know, across the board, cross sports. You know, the females need to know what's right to say, what they can and what they cannot say. That's all a part of Title IX as well. You know, guys cannot say certain things to women. Women cannot say certain things to guys. You know, you don't want to get things and messages misconstrued.
And that's pretty much Title IX is across the board as far as education goes with that. And it's not just only about athletics.
Right, exactly.
So what would you, knowing, having all this experience that you've had, I mean, you have owned your own business, you were a personal trainer / massage therapist, you were a dietitian, now you are a teacher and a coach. I know you are so well-rounded, and probably the most well-rounded guest speaker that I've had because of all the different things that you have done. What would be the best piece of advice that you would give anyone probably going into the field? And you can say into the field, or you can choose into massage therapy or coaching or teaching, however you want to answer that question.
Yeah. So, you know, during my path, I always follow what I wanted to do and what I felt like I needed to do at that time. And my biggest advice would be to not leave anything unturned. If there's something that you've been thinking about wanting to do, and you have a desire to do it, go for it. You know, there's only one regret that I've ever had, and that was after I graduated from Appalachian State. I don't even know if I've mentioned this before, but I had the opportunity to go further in athletics. I had opportunity to get a trainer and maybe even be at a place where I could probably be a contender for maybe Olympics or something like that in one of my events in track and field. But once I graduated from college, I was ready to work. And part of that was because of where I came from, you know, my background and my history. I didn't want to struggle for anything. I didn't want to lack in anything. And so my first instinct was, if I do this, that means I'm not going to be able to work. I'm not going to be able to make any money right away. And, you know, sometimes it can't always be about the money. I have no idea where I would have went from there, but I do know that path took a different direction, and I just followed it. And sometimes life is like that. So I would say follow your path, follow your dreams. Even if it seems so far-fetched that you can't get there, you know, I would just say try. The only thing that you can fail at is not trying. So take a chance on you, you know, put you first. And that's what I did. Everything that I've done, I took a chance on me. and so far so good. So I'm still taking chances.
Oh,
So
we
who knows
know.
what's
And I'm
next?
so glad that you said that, because that leads me into my next question. So, Sabrina is working on her doctorate degree right now. And so she is still burning the candle at both ends, no matter how many years has passed.
Out of years.
The last time she was in school and had a family and running a business. So right now she's working full time. I think she's got her hands in some other ventures as well. And she's also going back to school to further her education. So what inspired you to go back to earn advanced education? And tell us a little bit about your experience at UNCG.
So that's crazy because I had been thinking about this is one of those things, never leave anything unturned. I had been thinking about going back to school since I received my master's degree. And there's a lot of time in between there. A lot of time as in my kids were little and now they're college graduates. So I spent all that time just doing life, you know. And so finally I was like, you know, it can't hurt. I want to do this. And the main reason for wanting to do this, because I said, you know, GTCC has been wonderful. I've been here for 14 years at that time. And I said, you know, I want to be able to teach at a four-year school. I have the opportunity to teach at a four-year institution. And the only way that I can do that is if I get my doctorate. And so I'm like, what should I get my doctorate in? Actually, I thought about leadership studies at A&T, and I applied to both, got into both, but UNCG responded first. And so I was excited about it. And so I went with UNCG. My experience has been a little overwhelming at times because of work. You know, everything's not going to be easy. And let me tell you, there were a lot of sleepless nights, you know, and having to put me first, because when you are decide to be a mom, a wife, and you decide to do life and you're taking care of everyone else, it's really hard to put yourself first. So if you are one of those people that are always putting others first and life just seems so busy, it's going to stay busy. And you just got to take that step to do it, because either way, you're going to make it work. Because if you have that drive anyway, it's just in you. You're going to make it work. And so I knew it was going to work. I knew it was going to take some time. And so, but UNCG, the experience has been really good, although stressful because of the demands. And there was only one class, which Ms. Smith knows, that really took me to a whole nother level. That was statistics. But I finally got through that. And once I got through that, I'm like, oh, everything is golden now, you know. But that's why I wanted to pursue my EDD in kinesiology. And who knows, you know, I'd love to have an opportunity to advance myself here, or, you know, at opportunities to work for a health insurance company, opportunity to even maybe do my own business. So it's just leaving the doors open for me to kind of take it in any direction that I want to go. And now I just have to figure out what that is. And so even at my age, you're still trying to find out what you want to do when you grow up. So we'll see.
I think it's important to evolve as a person, you know, and I ended up going back to school every 7 years, it seemed like, you know, that I got kind of bored of what I was doing. And so like you, I have a lot of irons in the fire because I have to keep busy.
Yes, yes.
I think that people that work in the health and fitness industry usually are happy people, usually are busy people, usually creative people. And if you want to get fit and well with us, come and see us. We would love to help you get fit and well for life and teach you how to be your best you. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, just love people, you know, and just love people and love yourself. And I think everything else will just fall into place. So this has been great. So I hope I could help someone. And if you ever need to talk to me or get some more information, Ms. Smith can give you my contact information.
Awesome. So folks, if you're interested in coaching, or if maybe you want to pick Sabrina's brain about what it is like being a teacher while going into school, she will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much for joining us today, and you enjoy this pretty weather we're about to have.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, bye-bye.